Peter Obi won the 2023 presidential election. As Tinubu's ally confesses, new data from USA and independent sources reveal. Hello, people. Welcome back once again to this YouTube channel. Whenever we say that it is not going to go well with Mahmoud Yakubu, who went and bastardized and destroyed the hope of Nigerians by voting in and by illegally allocating votes to Bola Tinubu. We told people when Mahmoud Yakubu announced Tinubu as the president, when people were sleeping, that this man has actually manipulated a lot of things. Even when the European Union came, they said that they never knew how Mahmoud Yakubu came to the conclusion and the numbers that he gave to Tinubu, that they never knew about how the 8 point something million votes were allocated to Bola Tinubu. And a lot of people, thought that EU, the European Union, were playing. Now, the data showing how P2P, as a matter of fact, won the election. Even Tinubu did not even come second from the data. That Tinubu came a distant third in the presidential election that was conducted on the 25th day of February 2023. I'm going to show you who revealed this information. This information is coming from Tinubu's camp. Tinubu's closest ally was the person that is revealing this information. Like I've said, they always take Nigerians for granted because they know that, they can do anything and go scot-free. A country whereby millions of taxpayers' money was used to, in order for them to have a credible election, Mahmoud Yakubu, intentionally decided to throw away the millions of and billions of dollars and naira that were used to conduct the election and just allocated votes to Bola Tinubu. Till date, Mahmoud Yakubu cannot say where and how Tinubu got 8 point something million votes. Well, without wasting your time, let me show you what Tinubu's closest ally said and how he revealed that P2P was the one that won the election from the empirical data they are getting from independent sources and from UK and USA. Well, let me dive back straight to the point so you can see what I'm saying. As you can see, they said a former secretary to the government of the Federation, this was a former SFG, Dr. David Babacha Lawal, said in Abuja on Tuesday that the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Gregory Obi, won the February 25th presidential election and not Bola Ahmed Tinubu as declared by the Independent National Electoral Commission. Babacha Lawal, who is a close ally of Tinubu, asserted that available factual data as aggregated from several independent sources indicated that Obi got the majority votes, while Atiku came second in the election. According to him, Bola Tinubu came a distant third in the number of votes scored. And this is basically the truth. This man went further to say that in a strongly worded statement he issued on Tuesday, Babacha Lawal said, "I have resisted the temptation to engage in the contemporary political discourse since May 2023 election files passed. I did this for two reasons. The first being that as an active player in the drama, I needed time to analyze and digest the data that led to the outcomes so I could arrive at an informed decision. The second being that the rainy season had just set in and it was necessary that I focus my attention on my farms, which are the mainstay of my livelihood." He said, "I did this for two." He said the current topical issues for political discourse and inquiry are whether or not Bola Tinubu won the presidential election and or that he was a priori qualified to participate in the election given his murky biodata as is now being publicly unveiled daily in an avalanche. He said, "My answer to the first inquiry is that regardless of whatever Inec or appeal court said or did, Bola Tinubu did not win the election. Right from the start of the campaigns, Bola knew he was not going to win the election in a free and fair contest, so he decided to go by all means. Available factual data as aggregated from several independent sources indicate that Obi got the majority votes while Atiku came second. Bola came a distant third in the number of votes scored. My answer to the second inquiry is that given the now unfolding deluge of uncomplimentary information about who and what he actually is, ordinarily sound ethics and morality should have convinced him to voluntarily excuse himself from participation in the election." You could see what Babacha Lawal is saying. This is a very close ally to Tinubu and a former SLG to the Federation to tell you that all the political class and all of them, they knew that P2B won that election. They knew, but because of their political and tribal and religious sentiments, they decided to destroy all the data. That is why till date, INEC cannot provide P2B with the bio data in the BVAS machine for him to prove his case in the Election Petition Tribunal. According to them, they say that the data wiped off and went off. They cannot provide it. Even when the court mandated them to give P2B the BVAS machine to inspect, till date, they never gave Peter Obi the machine to inspect and all that. Now, Babacha Lawal have come out to speak the fact. If you all could remember, before the presidential election, the United States, the UK, Bloomberg, a whole lot of independent sites and investigative platforms, stated categorically that P2B would win this presidential election by a landslide victory. But the INEC chairman, after they saw the predictions made by confirmed and authoritative BBC and other news media outlets, they decided, as a matter of fact, to go and destroy the constitution, to go and destroy all the format that P2B is going to win the election. That is why INEC intentionally did not transmit the election result for the presidential election. They transmitted the one for the National Assembly and for the House of Rep. But they intentionally did not transmit the presidency own because they knew that if had it been they transmitted the presidency own, P2B would win in a landslide victory. You could hear what Baba Chalawa is saying. That Tinubu came a distant third. A lot of you guys might not know, but this is basically the fact. If you want to analyze it, the North voted majorly Atiku Abubakar. Those core northern states, northwest and northeast, voted majorly Atiku Abubakar. P2B rigged his way in those states in the north. He never got up to such percentage amount of votes he got in the north. No, he rigged his way. He manipulated and rigged the election through the use of some state governors within that particular state. When it comes to the South, P2B won massive. That is why P2B won even in Tinubu's hometown, Lagos State. Do you know what it means? P2B won in Abuja. Do you know what it means? Tinubu, to tell you that Tinubu lost the election, he was not even able to get up to 20% in Abuja, the federal capital territory. And everybody knew that he lost. But Mahmoud Yakubu went and he wrote down the data for him. Him and Fashola, Babatunde Fashola, they were there manipulating the election results and giving millions of votes to Bola Tinubu. And now look at where we found ourselves. Babacha Lawal said that by right, Tinubu, who knows that he forged the documents submitted to INEC initially, who knew that he had a case of identity theft, who knew that he had lied to Nigerians about attending government college in Lagos, which he never attended, and he could have initially withdrawn from the presidential race, knowing full well that he has a whole lot of dirty image and criminality on him, such as the 406,000 money dollars he forfeited because of the drug activities he was involved in in Chicago. I can boldly tell you this for free. A lot of truth are actually coming out. If the Supreme Court does not do the needful, I must tell you for the fact that this country might be beyond redemption, honestly speaking. Well, like I said, I'll keep on updating you guys and I would like you guys to drop your comment and what you think about this thing that Bacha Lawa said.